So, it all comes down to this. Drop a like if you're ready for the event. When you're done, comment down below your favorite character from the storyline. Hey, what's going on everybody? I'm Dr. P and welcome back to another video. I think this is gonna be a good one. I really appreciate you stopping back by. Now, really quickly, if you could do me a solid favor and drop a like on the video as well as subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm uploading every day covering the latest and greatest Fortnite news, information, tips, tricks, and so much more. Also, be sure to check out all of my links in the description below if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Caffeine, or even join my official Discord. So if you've logged into Fortnite today and you've been playing, you may have noticed there is now an event timer floating above every one of these sky platforms around the map. Currently, as I record the video, the timer is just under 7 days. If you round that up to a week, that means the event is going to take place 1 week from today on Saturday, July 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern. The robot hasn't been any more constructed since yesterday, but we are expecting there to be more work completed tomorrow because, as you'll recall, just about every 48 hours there is a new phase of the robot completed, which means the robot will be completed in time for the event. Shocker, I know. And we'll be ready to watch the giant war that's about to break out on the map. We're pretty certain the CATTUS, the creature that broke out of the iceberg, is going to be fighting against the robot, and ultimately who wins is up for grabs. We don't know. I've always thought that the robot seems to be pretty large. You know, it's very, very tall and massive, to put it eloquently. I don't think the CATTUS is as big, but I could be wrong. Something that really interests me and I feel like could be notable is the fact that this timer appears multiple occasions throughout the map on top of these floating platforms. Clearly, these must be important to the storyline, especially considering one of the leaked propaganda posters for this event says, "When danger strikes, take the high ground." The timer could mean two things. The timer could first and foremost mean the event is going to happen in a week, but it also could mean, hey guys, when this timer goes off, you guys better all be on top of these platforms because things could get ugly really fast. I'm personally going to be super curious to see how exactly these floating platforms play a role in the event. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, something else that's very notable I want to point out to you guys is the fact that Donald Mustard last night changed his location yet again, but this time it says starving. Now, this is kind of an extension of what he put a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and it said hungry at one point, right? We all assumed it was the CATTUS who was hungry. That makes the most logical sense, but now it's gone one step further to say starving. Now, if you'll recall, back when he put his location to hungry, it wasn't long after that when the CATTUS attacked several places around the map, most notably Loot Lake and the power core. It didn't do too much damage, but it did damage nonetheless. Now that the location says starving, which is obviously an extreme version of hungry, I can only imagine what's getting ready to happen. It's possible we could see different attacks on the map before the event even starts in a week as kind of a lead up to the event to build hype, which would make a lot of sense. They want to get as many people interested in this event as possible, and to be honest, we've been talking about this CATTUS since week 2 of this season, so it's been drawn out a lot more so than other events we've had in the game. It would be natural for people to have waning interests at the moment, and it would be probably a wise idea to go ahead and ramp that up a couple days before the event. Something else that's pretty interesting about the timer is it's 7 days. It's literally a whole week, which is a lot of time to have a timer countdown for. I mean, usually in the past for events, it's been like 2 days, maybe like a day, 24 to 48 hours, but this is literally an entire week's worth of time. They really want to get everyone watching this thing, which must be a sign that it's going to be a pretty big time event. Speaking of said big time event, there are a lot of theories going around about what it's actually going to entail. So I got this one from Majen Boo, who says, "We are not getting a new map. Our map will turn to an apocalyptic island." I do believe that we're going to get one of the two. Either we're going to get a new map because the storyline could end here, or we're going to get a completely destroyed post-apocalyptic themed map. Now, I would be a fan of either one of those. I think it's time to make a change In Fortnite, I think a new map, or at least a severely altered map, would bring a lot of people back and generate the interest for a lot of people who have left the game. With how amped up and hyped up this event seems to be, and with two gigantic creatures getting ready to battle it out, I don't see any way the map gets away unscathed, and the map isn't drastically changed heading into Season 10. Or at the very least when Season 10 starts. Here we have Call Me Cool Chad, who says, I got a theory. What if the reason that on the weekly loading screens item shop skins are there is symbolism of that we are a part of the fight? Everyone is fighting back, not just the robot / battle pass skins, everyone. This makes kind of a lot of sense. As you know, Season 9 has been the first season to almost exclusively show item shop skins in the loading screens instead of battle pass skins. It's very strange for sure. Maybe the reason for that is because everyone is expected to contribute in the fight against the CATTUS, not just the main characters, not just the people you would typically expect, but literally everyone, because it's going to be a team effort to take this thing down. Friendly reminder that we have not seen the full body of the CATTUS yet. We have no clue how big it is, we have no clue what it's capable of. Really, we're left in the dark with this thing until we see what's actually going to go on here with the event. Now, take it for what you will, but the robot is massive. Maybe the people who are constructing the robot have seen the CATTUS and know something we don't, and the reason they are constructing the robot to be that big is because it's going to be very much needed in the fight. Even though the robot could end up being bigger than the CATTUS, it doesn't mean it's a clear-cut win, because clearly there is a major threat to the island. You know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Alright, so here we have a really long theory, but it's a great one, trust me. It's from user Rowless over on Reddit. He says, the timer hit 0, and we all watch in anticipation as the robot flies out of the volcano and circles the island. A message appears on screen saying to get to the sky platforms, and everyone obtains jetpacks and infinite materials, which of course makes sense considering two of the propaganda posters. We can build it, as well as duck and hover. What happens next is a massive tsunami as the CATTUS creature rises from the depths. It is much larger than the robot and easily destroys it. The monster reaches the shore, and supply drops land at all the sky platforms containing gold RPGs and gold ARs. By now, the entire northwestern corner of the map is underwater and still being covered. Phase 2 of the event has begun. A second message appears on screen to attack the monster with everything you have. A health bar appears at the top of the screen, and the creature rushes towards each sky platform. The monster has too much health and is heading towards the final sky platform, but before it hits, the airstrike alarm sounds and a nuke is dropped on the creature. It hits, the creature dies, but so do the remaining players in the lobby. We lost. I feel like so many people expect the robot to win this fight just because it seems like he's on the good guy's side, you know? But what would really be amazing and honestly would be crazy is if the CATTUS ends up winning this fight. I mean, where do we go from there? In the scenario described by the theory I just read, technically the CATTUS wins, but at the same time, he also lost. He would have gotten nuked and absolutely obliterated, but he did succeed in defeating the robot and causing chaos. Deep down, a part of me wants to see the robot lose, just because it would be a much more interesting outcome. Also, let's take a second to appreciate this theory. I think it would be unbelievably amazing if it did turn out to be a boss fight, whereas we literally had to fight against the CATTUS and attempt to kill it because the robot itself might not be enough. I think this theory is pretty well thought out. It's got the nuke in there, it's integrating the sky platforms, which we know are going to be big. It even integrates both of the other propaganda screens. The three of these combined definitely, I think, tell a story as to what's going to happen, and this may have hit the nail right on the head. So there you have it. In 1 week's time, less than 1 week actually, we're gonna finally get to see the robot and the CATTUS square off. Let me know in the comments right now which side you truly think is gonna win. I don't want to hear who you want to win. I want to know who you honestly would bet on winning this fight. Is it gonna be the CATTUS? Is it gonna be the robot? Could it be some third-party intervention that drops in randomly during the fight, like a nuke? I don't have any idea, but I can tell you that I cannot be any more excited than I currently am right now. I woke up this morning and saw the timer was live in the game, and I was just so thrilled. So I'm glad we're finally going to get a conclusion here to the storyline, or at least this part of the storyline, because we've been talking about the CATTUS for so many weeks, and I'm glad there's a light at the end of the tunnel for this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to support it by dropping a like down below, and if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to join the family today and never miss out on future uploads. If there's anything pressing or newsworthy that comes out over the course of the next few days, you can count on me to constantly keep you updated. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.